With us today, we got Joe, Trigger Joe Britson.
All right, let's go.
To try to get a matchup with a gunner. Oh, goes the roof. Francis is gunner.
Well, this is just a fist. When I start throwing it around, I can leave one hell of a mess. Let's dance.
Multiple occasions. Wow, it looks like they're going to swing to the very end.
And he wasn't kidding. Wow. It's very rare. What a finish.
Another one.
It really poses the question, what do you want to do? Do you want to take a chance and risk getting knocked out? Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Trying to take care of business, trying to get control. Oh, it's a knockout. Oh, my It's a knockout.
And it's closing in, trying to finish it, and it's over!
Because I'm going to take this foot and I'm going to whop you on that side of your face. There's not a goddamn thing you can do about it.
Clock is brought to you by Modelo.
I killed it!
Punch me right in the face, man.
And, we have a new nickname. Okay, we have William Send It 7 Pearson. All right, other than that, we used to call him Willie Pete. We used to call him the Mad Russian.
For his opponent to be quicker on the canvas.
Now you're gonna get it, Bobby!
I think you've had enough. No? Now you've had enough. Bitch. Wow. How good is this?
Finish him!
Another one.
Everybody gets triggered. It's just if you become a pansy. That's in the Book of Brawl. I think
Not surprised, motherfuckers.
You called down the thunder, well now you got it.
gotta be very careful. What's up, sports fans? Are you looking for a job? Do you want to change in careers? Do you want to own your own business? I got the answer for you. This show is brought to you by FleetTex. FleetTex is partnering with veterans with mechanical or electronic experience. FleetTex specializes in on-site deployment of GPS tracking equipment and cameras for fleet vehicles across our nation. Check out what they do at www.fleettex.com. Apply today. Currently targeting veterans living in Michigan, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Tennessee. Local work and travel opportunities may be available in other areas. FleetTex proudly supports our military, its service members, our veterans, and their families. Enjoy the show.
This is the Veteran Trash Talk Sports Betting Show with your hosts, Trigger Joe, Send It 7 Pearson, and the Big Earl. UFC, NFL, if it's on, we're betting on it.
What's up, sports fans? What's going on, VTT Gruntworks Nation? All right, and those of you watching on the Twitterverse or wherever, I don't know where our friggin' monkey behind the scenes is sharing this, but we don't care. All right, we asked him for years to get us on TikTok. We don't know how to do it. He supposedly does, but we don't know. Yeah, we don't even know what that is either. I know Dave's on all the time, so check out Faceman on TikTok. He's becoming a star. Right? That's what he's on here for, because he can't really do anything except smile at you. And that's what we got him for. All right. Remember, this is a UFC and NFL show, and the Big Earl will cry when it's NFL time, but that's fine. It's been just a brutal year. But the UFC has been going okay, and the infantry guys got back in the game last week. Back in the game with a little left hook. Boom, right? And just Joe called it. So I think we're down to some kind of average number, about 3 again. Not quite sure, but he's back in the game. All right.
Sounds
So
right.
hey,
Manageable.
you saw the sponsor before the show started, Fleet Techs. All right. Again, guys, if you're looking for a job, if you're listening on the podcast and or watching this, if you need a job, go on their website, give it a shot, try it. Okay. If you get it, you get it. All right. That's about it for the sponsors. And it's a little too early for this, but in a couple of hours, it won't be. All right. And then it's on. All right. Well, welcome to the show. We got Triggered Joe Bridson, and of course the champ Bill Send It 7 Pearson, who's making his return from his trip to Fort Knox, where he had to write a paper to say I can be a leader. Good. So
Yes.
yes, I can be a leader. All righty. So here we go. Let's get off with it. Actually, hey, let's recap. Anybody got any info from last week's betting show? Should people have paid attention to you or not?
If you rewatch the show, we called Dustin Poirier, Michael Chandler, Zhang Weili, Carla Esparza, Gutierrez, Edgar. We had a little different ending on that one, but the other three, we called verbatim exactly as they would go down. And Bill was this close to being right on the main event, and instead I was. But literally, if it was another half a minute, Bill would have won by decision. Or Izzy would have won by decision because he was up 4-1 in my book. Maybe he lost that last round, but Pereira comes out and gets the KO he had to have. So I went 5 for 6. Bill went 4 for 6, and the only reason we were wrong on that first one is because Claudio Puelles is spelling his last name wrong, but he's got the first letter right. Let's put it that way.
I got that one right. The Big Earl.
Got it.
No big
Got
deal.
it.
Should be immediately removed from any UFC contracts.
Yeah,
And then, hey, let me tag old Ronnie real quick. Hey, Ronnie, you owe these guys a T-shirt. I'm just
come
saying,
on,
Ronnie, where are you? Oh,
all these guys got new shirts. I'm over here wearing the same old shit, Ron.
Yeah,
What is this?
Ron, you got to buy shirts. You lost fair and square. All right, those of you, if you want to rewatch the show, we had Ron O'Farrell, who's a tremendous Ranger leader, got out of the Army, done great things, and he has a nonprofit taking people to some island. We don't know where it is. We blanked on that last time. Somewhere in the Caribbean or Dominican, we don't know. But pretty sure. Yeah, just get on the boat. We'll take you there. But okay, let's get down to it. This is just a normal fight night. However, it's got my guys on it. This is when the Big Earl strives, when the big boys come to play. All right, because I went on like a 7-week win with just old people and pissed these guys off. But anyways, do not bet how I say. All right, when it comes to UFC, do not do it. That's one disclaimer. The other disclaimer is don't bet if you don't have any money. Okay, don't do it. These guys are really good. Joe and Bill are really freaking good. Pay attention to their locks and their parlays. All right, and if you play DraftKings, they'll even give you a DraftKings sleeper. So stick around till the end, and they'll give you those. But again, I make picks based on the guy's name and jawline, and if Monica's watching, and the girls too, all right, I'll go off their shoulder blades. All right, I don't. How else do you judge a woman's chin? I don't know, without being sexist. I'll just leave it alone. Okay, let's get to it. We got a welterweight fight to start, and if this isn't like a baseball / boxing name, Jack Della Maddalena, whatever. All right, 12-2 versus Danny Roberts at 8-6. So I'm going to go with Roberts' first round choke slam. All right. It's going to be an Undertaker choke slam. I had a different fight pick, but different way to end it. But in the spirit of our pre-fight discussion, I'm going WWF choke slam, Danny Roberts choke slam. Bill, the champ. What say you?
This first fight tonight is actually one of my locks. I got
Educate him, Bill.
Maddalena by smash. I will be actually very surprised if this leaves the first round.
Ooh, I got the round right.
And if it does, it's not leaving the second. Matalana is going to come in there and just absolutely decimate this guy. He's won his last 2 fights by first round KOs. And who's it? Roberts has been finished every way possible. He's been finished by a head kick. He's been finished by KO from strikes. He's been submitted by arm bars and rear naked choke. He's just not that good. Plain and simple, he's not that good. And Matalana is another guy that's coming out of that just incredible fight camp out of Australia that's just producing absolute animals. So yeah, Matalana, he's also one of my locks. First round TKO.
All right. So again, don't listen to me. Obviously, I don't even know who these guys are, but I must have got it wrong. We'll see. That's what we said on the first fight last week. Joe, what say you?
All right, Betters. I'm going to give you a little bit of a lead in on this one. Okay, here's Danny Roberts going into Dana White's office a month ago. Look, nobody wants to fight Jack Della, and that's his nickname. He's slowly becoming a legend. People just shorten it up and call him Jack Della. Nobody wants to fight Jack Della. Here's our options with you, Danny. You've been knocked out 3 times at welterweight. It's a beast of a division. We could cut your boring ass, or you can fight Jack. So, big ups to Danny Roberts. He said, I don't want to get cut. I'll fight Jack Della Maddalena, but he is meat. If anyone's ever seen Cinderella Man, he is being sent to the slaughter. I got Jack Della Maddalena by his boxing is so nasty. He's got 10 knockouts in 12 fights. I got him winning by first round knockout. Danny Roberts, it's an honorable thing to do, but you're going to sleep, son. And then probably getting cut.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Well, let's go to the next fight. And it's another welterweight fight. And we got
these are big boys on this one, Nick.
Yeah, Andre Fiallo. I like this stuff. It's not these little gymnasts that are punching each other with, their 4-pound fucking hands, right? We got Fiallo at 16-5 versus Muslim Salikov. All right, 18-3, Salikov. All right, whatever. You just have to cough when you say it. And guess what? This is pretty easy. All right, I've been watching these guys fight for about a couple of years now, and I'm gonna go with Muslim by falafel the mission. All right, I don't know if you know what that is, but you should fucking research it. All right, it's kind of like 2 pieces of bread around the meat. Okay, Joe, what say you?
Yeah, I heard another picker that was going through this card. And he was like, dude, this is a landmine of a card. If you look through it, there's only 2 favorites over 200, which means all these fights are close to call, even throughout the prelims. But I got Fiallo here, man. Salikov, I did not like the way he looked against Ling Jingliang. He was very easy to put out.
Fiallo, the Chinese are killing all the Muslims. It's not. It's like,
but Fiallo's got 4 inches of reach on him, which that will make a bit of a difference. Salikov likes to box, so I'm sure Fiallo's probably like, but yeah, all right, let's box. I'm not gonna sit here and put a lot of weight on Fiallo getting knocked out by God, what was his name, Bill? Is it Roberts?
Jake Matthews.
Jake Matthews. That's it. Okay, Jake Matthews is a tough dude. And Fiallo, I think he bit off a little more experience than he could chew. This guy's a rookie in the UFC. It's only his, I think he's coming into his 2nd year, and he came on the scene like a firestorm, man, knocking everybody out. So I'm not just gonna put a wet blanket on that because he lost to Jake Matthews. And Muslim Salikov is 38 years old, and Li Jingliang just tuned his ass up. I don't like the matchup for him. He's given 4 inches of reach away to Fiallo. Fiallo's got a point to prove, and I believe he wins by TKO in the 2nd round.
Very nice. But like I said, let's be careful with that. We know the Chinese just don't like Muslims, so that wasn't a hard fight.
Fiallo's got a big head. I think it's ginormous.
But hey, PJ Harrison just tuned in and watching. PJ, say hi. Okay. Bill, what say you?
Man, I went back and forth on this one, and Joe's right. It is like a landmine of a fight card. This fight really could go either way. They've both been slept. Fiallo does have the better reach, but Salikov has gone the distance more times, so he might have a better chin. Here's what I'm saying.
True. They've only been knocked out once, and it was both in their last fight. So that's a tricky one.
I'm leaning towards Salikov, but here's what I'm gonna tell for the bettors. I wouldn't touch this one with a 10-foot pole if you're doing a parlay. But if you do, I think the under is a pretty safe bet on this one. I think these guys are going to come in and they're going to throw heavy bombs early.
That's all I ever do.
Man, picking a winner. I mean, you got to figure Salikov lost Lee his last fight, but
Excuse
then
me.
he decision, split decision. Then he started off with the early KOs, but that's over a span of 3 years. You know, Fiallo lost. Joe's right. His last knockout isn't a bad knockout with Jake Matthews. Then he knocked out Van Camp, Beza, and before that, he lost to Micah Perry in the decision, and that was all in the same year. So he's been busier. Man, you know what? I'm going to lean on Fiallo on this one. I'm going to take Fiallo on this one. Don't put it in a parlay. I wouldn't touch this one in a parlay at all because either one of these dudes can get slept. But if you want to get ballsy and go for a high money maker, you know, I always have that one parlay that's just crazy off the wall to see if it hits. Take the under on this one. But I'll lean on Fiallo.
All right. Hey, well, PJ
Bill, having
said
said that, what's the over/under percentage and it ends up on one of my parlays? Probably about 75%.
so, shit.
Right next to the running back from Liberty going over 64.5 yards.
Hey, he went at 63. He took a knee to end the game. It was such bullshit.
Son of a bitch. He knew. He knew.
Why is the running back taking the snap there? All right, but it was,
Why is Barry Sanders on the sidelines? He needs 9 yards.
that's not what happened to us if we bet that for real though. Like the snap until we ran out of the back of the end zone.
Bet Barry Sanders to win the rushing title. Oh, he's going to bench himself with a quarter and a half to go and give it to Christian Okoye?
Yeah, but PJ said hi to us. PJ, is Dave awake? Because you know, whenever he hangs out with you, he's just horrible on our show, like later in the day. So can you go wake his ass up? And then Monica just tuned in. Monica, I need you to rewind this and tell us how we can judge a female based on her appearance for fighting without being sexist. I'm going with the shoulders. I don't know, because when we judge a man, we look at his chin, his jawline, and we're like, nah, he's not standing. But we got to get an official, you know, female's opinion on how we judge them by appearance without being sexist. So they usually look that up for me. All right.
I'm going with traps. If you look at a lot of the top female fighters,
I mean,
their
shoulders
traps are
is-
nasty.
Yeah, like, it's this area right here.
Same thing. Same thing.
Yeah,
Don't try to get by.
by.
You might get caught in
Caught
the
in
traps.
traps. Right. So yeah, that is one of the best ones that we hit Paris up all the time.
Trademark.
Yeah. All right. Let's go here. We got a heavyweight fight. These are my favorites. Chase Sherman. All right. 16-10 versus Cortez Acosta, whose first name is Waldo at 8-0. And I don't know if you guys can remember this, but I picked Waldo to win last time. I did. All right. Because where is he? No one knows.
I don't know. You can't hit him.
You can't
find
hit him. You can't hit what you can't see.
I swear to God, in between rounds 1 and 2, the corner man's like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" And the guy's like, "I can't find Waldo."
He's not wearing.
Freaking out about it.
Somebody's playing something in the background here. So who's got diabetes ad going on? Is that you, Joe?
Hey, me.
That was you.
I got nothing.
Wait.
Yeah,
No,
I got nothing. That was God. God did it.
obviously, the baker back there who makes things that cause diabetes is trying to figure out why he has diabetes because he makes cakes. Okay, that's just what he was doing. Oh, only we heard it. So yeah, we can't hear. Only we can hear.
6
God,
lemon
our
bars for
producer.
breakfast.
But now I lost what I was talking about. But okay, where's Waldo? So, but what people didn't pick up, Joe was listening to that corner argument, but he didn't hear like what the off camera where he was like, Waldo always wears a red and white fucking uniform. I didn't see it. Right. And it just got knocked out. He got slept. So I'm going to go Waldo. All right. Because I'm going to go Waldo by knockout. Bill, what say you?
I'm going with Waldo as well. Only because Chase Sherman's another one of those guys that they throw at people to put on a fight card. The guy is not good. He's never been good. He's never going to win a belt. He fights for beer money. I don't know why it's on the main card. I could have picked 3 fights off the prelims. I should have been on this main card over this fight. Chase needs to stop. But how it's going to finish, I don't know. Sherman's been slept in the first. He's lost nasty decisions. Who knows? I'm going to go with an early knockout. I think Acosta's going to pull it off. But take money line Acosta. Sherman just needs to retire. But sometimes he's got that retard chin where he could just keep going somehow.
Can't say that.
I'm sorry. Whatever. I don't.
Yeah.
If you're
Got a
offended, shut
special
up.
chin.
Special
Don't be a
chin.
trigger pansy.
Special chin.
Don't be.
Well, I don't think we can say special anymore either. I don't know. Now we got Bill all derailed. Whatever.
Either way, take Acosta money line on this one. I don't know why it's on the main card.
Can we call him, Bill? Can we call Acosta him? I mean, let's
I don't want to
respect that
assume
too.
his pronouns, but
I hear they, them, and I'm logging off.
Yeah.
Okay? Fair warning, boys.
I'm gonna pick they them to win.
My internet's not that great, but I'll burn this.
Bill, did we get your
down if
pick
I hear
before we
they, them.
sabotaged it? Did
So-
we get it?
Acosta by
Waldo.
early KO.
Acosta by early
Waldo.
KO. Now, Chuck Miller, Chief Warrant Officer Miller, has signed on and said, "I'm not taking any of Nick's picks." Yeah, that's the disclaimer at the start of the show, Chuck. Okay, don't say what
Fair
I
warning,
say.
that means you're taking orders from Nick because he
Yeah,
told you not to. So
exactly.
maybe
So
you should
there
take them.
There you go, Chiefy. All right, so Joe, what say you?
What's that from David Spade and Tommy Boy? Hey, Chiefy,
Yeah.
you got the wrong map.
Yeah.
This is a map of Iowa.
Like I said,
Yeah,
man.
man. Yeah, need a new map. They got him as a -230 favorite. And look, if I bet anything on that, I'll take it money line. But man, I can't call it. If they get out of the first round, the punches change, the how hard they throw changes. They're sucking wind the whole time and throwing fat arm punches. So I'm gonna go Waldo Cortez Acosta. Get one of your names deleted. I'm gonna take him money line, just take him to win by decision because I maybe Sherman lasts, and then we have two very, very boring rounds.
Did you do
So,
that on purpose?
I'll go with
Yes.
That was incredible.
It's like AOC.
Yeah.
No, that was the internet doing that. But
That was, and it worked
yeah,
out
I'll take-
perfect. It was
It
almost
worked.
like we tried.
The
to.
timing was incredible.
Yeah, this is boring. Like it was perfect.
Exactly. I'm gonna go Waldo decision just because I can't call what type of finish he'd have. So Nick, your favorite fighter is up next.
All right, I know. Oh, I know that's an easy pick. But that's obvious. Everybody loses to the labia. But anyways, I was gonna say something about Joe's pick, but I already forgot what he said. So let's go to you picked Cortez Acosta, right? So I'm gonna start a new trend in the UFC. I think if you're 8-0, you should probably have 4 or 5 names, right? And then as you keep winning, you should add another name until you actually lose. Like therefore, like Buffer has to say like 17 names if you're like 17-0, and be like until someone beats me, I'm keeping it going, right? Like that'd be epic. All right, let's get to the co-main, and we got a light heavyweight fight, and we got Kennedy Naga. I don't know. Anybody know how to say that?
I'm not gonna say it.
Ncheku. Is that how I say it?
Ncheku.
The E is silent.
I guess.
Okay. So all right, he's
Ncheku.
Ncheku. All right, at 10-3.
That's it.
The reason I don't really care about that name is because he's going against Ian Cute Labia. Okay, and everybody knows that Cute Labia wins every fight except for
I don't know how he keeps getting fights on main cards.
because he's the best fighter of all time. So I'm gonna go Cute Labia by decision. All right, because I think Kennedy's never really touched the labia before, but he's gonna try, and he's gonna get smacked. All right, so Joe, what say you?
I'm gonna call this the Great Santini pick. Down, put him down. All right, I'm betting for this fight to not last 1.5 rounds.
Fact.
Like take Michael Chandler's athleticism, chin, and skill out, and you have Cutelaba. That's how he fights. Stupid. Real stupid. Name me one fighter that will tap out to Johnny Walker. I can't name one. Okay, well, watch this fight. He'll do it. He's an idiot. I got Ncheku winning this fight just because Cutelaba has shown before that he does not think when he fights. Ncheku's got an 8-inch reach advantage, 8 inches of reach. He towers over him at 6'5". He's going to tee him up. Cutelaba's going to be brawling, and I see Ncheku catching him. So I'll go second round knockout.
All right, this is going to be one of those fights that I'm going to watch because the labia doesn't have to think.
It ain't going to last long.
Bill, the champ, what say you?
Joe's right. If this gets out of the first round, I will be amazed. You're talking about an 8-inch reach advantage, which a guy who throws heat. Second to that, Cutelaba has been finished 5 of his last 8 fights. Stop fighting. And he's been finished by knockout, submission, and he's been, like Joe said, he's been submitted by guys who aren't even submission guys. He's just a moron when he fights. Here's his last 6 fights. Finished by Johnny Walker, rear naked choke.
I mean, a lot of people have been
Finished
finished
by
by Johnny Walker.
Yeah. Guillotine by Ryan Spann. He won a decision. He had a draw against Jacoby. And then Ankalaev KO'd him. And then Ankalaev again kicked him in the head. I mean, the guy just sucks. I mean, plain and simple.
He's tough. I mean, I'll give him that, but
he's a moron. Like Joe, he fights like a dipshit. But Kennedy likes to throw bombs. He's got a couple losses, but I think he's also one of those guys that's learning. He just TKO'd Carl Robertson in the 3rd round, so he showed he can start going the distance there. He doesn't get finished a lot. And I think this is really, I think Cutelaba is going to be, he's that stepping stone for him to start fighting those higher ranked fighters. So I got Kennedy. If it leaves the 1st round, I'll be amazed. But if you want to go money line, this fight is definitely not going to a decision. Kennedy to finish. I think it's going to stay in the 1st round.
Very nice. Very nice. All right.
Yep.
Let's go to the main event. And we got my man, Derek Lewis, 26-10 versus Spivak at 15-3. And here's another bigger old pick. I know Spivak looks intimidating, but Derek Lewis is going to catch him. All right. It's going to happen. All right. So I'm going Lewis KO, 1st round. Bill, the champ. What say you?
This is actually a tough one for me. And I'll tell you why I made my pick. I made my pick based on location. If this fight was in Dallas, I'm taking Spivak all day. Derek Lewis cannot fight in Texas. He just loses in Texas. I don't know why. Tamara was the first one to catch it for me. She's like, Derek Lewis loses every time he fights in Texas. I was like, get out of here. I started looking it up. You can't fight. And here's the other.
He's got like one uncle that only comes to the Texas fights that keeps telling him at Thanksgiving. See, I told you can't fight. I told you. Every time I come, you get knocked out.
Here's the thing. I think Lewis knows he has to win this fight. If he loses this fight, that gravy train is over for him, and he's gonna become another Augusto Sakai, a big guy who fights unranked fighters and works his way up. I got Lewis by 1st round KO. Only because Spivak fights a little tentative sometimes too, and Lewis can't fight. Lewis is almost like Wilder. He sucks against guys that come forward at him. So the Tuivasas, he needs to be the guy that initiates and goes forward. I think Spivak is going to try to fight a little smarter in this one, but I think Lewis is going to catch him with one of his bombs. I got Lewis by early KO. Again, though, these are heavyweights. Any given Sunday with these dudes, I mean, they throw bombs, and they're 260-pound dudes. But I got Lewis 1st round KO.
All right, perfect. Joe, what say you?
Yeah, I think Derek's being a little disrespected by this plus 175 underdog.
Agreed.
And Bill, I'm gonna read these off to you. Walt Harris, Tai Tuivasa, Marcin Tybura, Felipe Vanderaa, Olenek, Aspinall, Hardy, Sakai. You see a lot of knockout artists on that page because 2 of those guys knocked out Spivak. None of those guys hit like Lewis does. And
here's the thing, and let me cut you off real quick. So, if you look at Lewis's last three losses, 2 of them were Cyril Gane and Tai Tuivasa, who are just absolute animals. So those aren't really bad losses either.
Yep. And that's the thing. If you want to knock out Derek Lewis, you've got to be a bully. Like, who's that young kid that looks like Drago, that Russian kid that they put him in there against? That's a kid that can beat Derek Lewis because he's 26. He's got longer arms. He's a monster. He's probably on the sauce. They don't test him, Russia. I like Spivak's game, but he's more of a sub guy. That's where he dominates. He beat Tai Tuivasa on the ground. That was 3 years ago, but he subbed him. He knows he needs to go there with these guys. And I think that Lewis is going to do just enough sprawling to keep it on the feet long enough to catch him. And I could be wrong here. If it goes into the 2nd round, take a look at your live bet because Spivak might have this one. But I think Derek Lewis wins. I'm going to go late 1st. Say he catches him at the end of the 1st, and it's kind of like watching Volkov. It looked like Volkov had the fight under control at his pace, and then boom. and Rogan's having a seizure with Cormier grabbing him, going, he did it again. I can see that happening. I can see that happen. Derek Lewis has done it tough for guys.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I don't know. I don't think Spivak's got the 1-2 to bully Derek Lewis on the feet, and I think Lewis gets one off in TKOs like he did Dawkins. So I got Lewis winning by upset.
Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. All right. Now here we get to the main part. So I just got a text message from a guy. I will leave nameless. All right. Because he's a potential partner in sponsoring some of this stuff. So I'm not going to say him by name, but he goes, hey, do you guys do NFL or college? I go, yeah, right after this. Right. And then college is every
Check
Thursday.
me out on As for Football.
As for Football. All right. So go on there and look at it. It's okay. I still love you. I forgive you. You got a beautiful family. You've been real nice. But come on, let's get on the program here. All right.
Trigger Joe is 21-10 on college football this season. So check me out.
Killing the officers, killing the ring knockers that think they're so smart because that, you know, I mean, we'll get into that later on the show. We got a ring knocker coming on tonight, and that's all it's on. All right. Anyways, let's get to the best part of the show, the locks, the parlays, the DraftKings sleeper. Let's stay with Joe. What do you got?
I have one lock, and I'm not gonna put myself in a position to just give out locks just because I don't see many of them. But Jack Della Maddalena is my lock. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and say, hang on, I had a DraftKings sleeper on here that was on the undercard. I'm gonna keep it with Lewis and say keep Derek Lewis as your DraftKings sleeper. But we're going to roll up from the prelims, starting with the first fight. I like that Natalia Silva. She's getting good odds. She's got a much better experience record over this girl she's fighting. So I like her to win by decision. So start the night off taking on Natalia Silva by decision. Kevin Natividad, I love the kid's fighting spirit, but he's trash, and he's going up against Ricky Turcios. Ricky Turcios has to win this fight. So I got Ricky Turcios winning over Kevin Natividad, also in the prelims. I think that's the decision fight. Don't get cute with the finish type because I don't know. And then I like Marina Moroz over Jennifer Maia. I think Jennifer Maia is on a losing streak mainly because she's very, very basic and vanilla. And this Marina Moroz should win this decision. She's more talented. And then we're going Jack Della Maddalena. Put that by knockout because he's a minus 625 right now. And dude, I really like Andre Fiallo too. Actually, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go in Chekwu and Fiallo. That's it. 6 fights. So we're going Kennedy and Chekwu, Andre Fiallo, Jack Della Maddalena on the main, and then on the prelims, Marina Moroz, Ricky Turcios, and Natalia Silva, 6-fighter.
All right, there you have it. Joe has that parlay in there that Bill said, don't touch it in a parlay. So, Bill, what's your parlay, your locks, and your DraftKings sleeper?
We are.
I think that Fiallo's an animal, man. I like him.
We are very similar. I did leave that one fight off there, but my lock is Jack Maddalena, and I think he's just gonna smash Roberts. If you wanted to go for a second lock, I'm going with Kennedy Chichuku over Gudalaba. I think he's gonna fucking decimate that dude. I also got Ricky Turcios. I got Acosta over Sherman in that parlay. With the Maia fight. I agree with Joe, but if you want a safe bet on it, take the over on that one.
Sure.
Both girls are not finishers. I forgot who Maia's fighting. I forgot the name of the girl Maia's fighting. She's got one submission, but Maia doesn't get finished. But
Marina Moroz. You're right.
She will drag you to a boring ass decision every
She's
damn
tough,
fight.
man. She's a tough out.
So take Maia, take that fight to take the over on that one. And then another guy I like on the prelims is a guy named Heastand. I think the guy fighting out of Spokane here, I think he's going to win that one. That's for the ballsy parlay. So that's that one outlier that if you want to go throw an extra one into a parlay, throw in that Heastand guy. So Heastand, Maia, the Maia fight to go over Maddalena by Homicide, Acosta, Turcios, and then Chechukwu, and then my DraftKings sleeper obviously is Derek Lewis.
Oh, perfect. Both the same draft.
Yeah, that Brady Highstand pick is a good one too because he's got 4 inches of reach and he's a takedown machine at 135. Yeah. So I like him over Fernie Garcia as well. The guy's name is Fernie Garcia. So Highstand better beat him.
All right, let me explain to you guys how to bet this again. Now, usually these guys give you more than one lock, but because there's only one lock and both of them seem to like it by KO, right? So let's say I have $50 that I can lose. All right. Remember, don't gamble what you can't lose. Let's say I have $50 that I can lose. I am going to go $40 on a KO by Jack Della. Okay. And then I'm going to go $10 or $5 on each of their parlays. Okay. That's how you bet it. Don't do it the other way around. Yes, it looks nicer that 40 pays out 800. Okay. But keep yourself alive for the rest of the betting cycle. All right. Because the parlays is why Vegas has giant buildings, that and 3-card poker. So whatever.
Yeah.
It's just that. I can't leave that table. I'm walking by. Oh, it's open. Like, let's go. But all right. Hey, take a little bit of a break here, guys. Go get your coffee refilled. And hey, check out VTT. All right. Mental Health Warrior. All right. This is his Mustang. It wins a lot of awards. All right. It's pretty cool. Go check him out in Virginia when he's doing his car shows. And then go to our store, shop.veterantrashtalk.com or gruntworksclothing.com during the break and put in the code VTTGW. Somebody just did that already. So go ahead and put there and get yourself a discount. All right. We will see you guys in a couple of minutes for NFL Locks. What's up, sports fans? Are you looking for a job? Do you want to change in careers? Do you want to own your own business? I got the answer for you. This show is brought to you by FleetTex. FleetTex is partnering with veterans with mechanical or electronic experience. FleetTex specializes in on-site deployment of GPS tracking equipment and cameras for fleet vehicles across our nation. Check out what they do at www.fleettex.com. Apply today. Currently targeting veterans living in Michigan, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Tennessee. Local work and travel opportunities may be available in other areas. FleetTex proudly supports our military, its service members, our veterans, and their families. Enjoy the show. And we're back. All right, for the Big Earls NFL Locks. Now, I told these guys I'm opening this segment up by whining, all right, because I got a little bit of time because it's Friday night. So I'm going to whine a little bit here, and I want Joe to miss the kickoff of the Michigan game because fuck Michigan. But got
to talk a while.
Yeah, talk a while. But all right, I'm an objective football fan. All right, I'm a huge Packer fan. All right, so I am ecstatic that they beat Dallas last week. However, Dallas was one of my locks. All right. And Dallas was up by 14. All right. Dallas was up by 14 in the fourth quarter. Dallas was like, go fuck yourself, Nick. And I was like, okay, but at least I bet a bottle of Camus, all right, against my old buddy Jaime Andujo. All right. And he owes me that. All right. So that I hedged my bet that way. And then the other one, Joe likes this game. All right. The Lions versus the Bears. All right. The Bears with Justin Fields, who's playing out of his mind right now. Okay. If you pay attention to his stats, his last 4 weeks, he's been like the top 3 in passer rating. All right. Out of his mind. He throws the one dumb pick. So what? All right. Bears are still covering. All right. Bears go down. They miss an extra point. No big deal. That can't hurt us, right? No, not at all. All right. And then they go down there and then they miss a field goal to go up by 9. That's not going to hurt us. No, that's just a 6-point lead. All right. So if he makes that field goal, we cover. If Detroit scores a garbage time touchdown, we still cover. But no, let's just miss the kicks. All right, Bears, you suck. All right. That's why everything from Chicago sucks. And my whining rant is over. Let's get back to picking.
Yeah, that game made me break a rule. I cheapened the majesty that is football to my oldest son when he called and goes, "Are you happy the Lions won?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, just like somebody stole his dog face, you know. And it's like, dude, the only 2 useless games of the season that they've won, I bet the other team. So not happy. And he's just looking at me like, I was like, "Look, son, if you want to be a Lions fan, you better strap in, buddy. It's a different experience
for sure."
I mean, I don't even know. I'm still in shell shock with the Packers losing, and I still think Rodgers is throwing the season, especially with Thursday. Before we get into the picks, Thursday, I did tell Dan, so he can vouch for me. I said, he's like, "How you picking this game?" I go, "I'm actually going to put 2 teaser bets in. I'm going to put a 2-score win by Tennessee, or I'm going to put a 2-score win by the Packers." Right. And so I put $5 on each, and the 2-score by Tennessee paid $27 on 5. So that was a nice win on that. Cause I was like, Rodgers missed 2 wide open guys when they were down by 1 score, like wide open.
I don't think he gives. I think he's definitely.
I think he's tossing the season. I think he's pissed off. And he's having his little friggin' when he gets motivated, because he was motivated to play against McCarthy. I don't care what people say. All right. He was motivated to play that game. It was, it was the game of the week. But I think he's having one of his, the shaman told him to pout for himself, and he doesn't want to play, right? Because he didn't get a big receiver. And now Christian Watson's turning out to be a pretty big receiver, ain't he, Aaron Rodgers? All right. So it is what it is. Maybe you should have just practiced with him in the preseason, but we'll get over it.
Yeah, man, he's losing me as a fan. And I actually, like my dad always says when people bitch about Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, I'll take them.
Yeah, I'll take him.
Being a Lions fan, I'll take him. But you know what, dude? I think he's really lost that team. But hey, man, let's roll into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
We got Chicago going to Atlanta. Atlanta favored by 3 with a 49 over under.
All right, here we go. Here is two teams that hate winning. Okay, and I've been saying it for Atlanta for like 4 years now. And even before, like even during the Super Bowl year, like it's like, let's get up by 3 scores and then just lose, right? Like why? All right, so Atlanta doesn't want to win. The Bears don't want to win. So I'm going to circle the Falcons, but I'm going to bet the over in this game at 49. I think this is going to be a point explosion, especially if Cordell plays.
All right, we got Carolina going into Baltimore. They're 13-point dogs with a 41.5 over under.
The return
of Baltimore by 13.
The return of Baker. All right, Baker Mayfield's coming in. Doesn't matter. All right, Ravens are the best team in the AFC right now. All right, except the Chiefs.
Our Baker would get a better review if he just came into the stadium and baked cupcakes than Baker Mayfield will on Sunday.
I'm gonna put the Ravens to cover here in one of my parlays, but I'm not gonna make it a lock.
All right, we got Cleveland going into Buffalo. Buffalo is -8 with a 50 over under.
All right, and they're playing this game in Detroit because of the weather, and the Bills are -8. The Browns
in Buffalo.
But no, they're playing it in Detroit.
Oh no. Gross.
They moved it because of the weather. So it's gonna be inside, which actually I think helps the Browns a little bit. I think if it would have stayed there in that weather. So I like the Bills money line here. The Browns.
I thought it was a play that they were advertising in Detroit because it says bring your kids to see a real NFL football team. I thought it was like some kind of a Pixar thing, but no, they really mean it.
Yeah, it wasn't a play. Anyway. It wasn't a play bill. It was the Bills. So
right. So we got Detroit ready to dump another one to the Giants. Giants are favored by 3 with a 45 over under.
I'm searching this game because I don't understand it. Like, is somebody hurt? Is Jones not playing? Is Barkley not playing? Like, what happened? All right, the Giants were one of my locks that won last week. Thank you, because I put 25 on that game. Thank God. All right, so I got the Giants in a lock over Detroit.
I'll take that action. All right, we got the Rams going into New Orleans. Talk about two teams that hate winning. New Orleans is -2.5 with a 39 over under. Sounds like a shootout.
To be fair, I called the Rams to upset last week, but then Stafford didn't play. If Stafford doesn't play in this game, I think, and then Cooper Kupp's probably out too, I think the Saints win by a lot. I think they win by a lot. So I got the Saints here as a lock.
All right, we got some good football coming up here. This is a good one. We got the Jets going in New England. New England's -3.5 with a 39 over under.
Yeah, I don't like this game. I'm not gonna bet it, but I am gonna watch it. All right. So I'm circling the Pats here. Take it down.
Interesting. We got Philly going into Indy. Indy is 6.5-point home dogs, 45.5 over under.
All right. I got the Eagles here money line. I think they bounce back a little bit, but I mean they got embarrassed on national TV. So like it was bad. But then again, it's the same thing that the Cowboys did. They stopped running the ball. Right? Like
I think they needed that though. I think they needed that kick in the teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. My son's like a stat machine, and he messaged me the next day. He was like, "What happened?" And I'm like, "Dude, I don't know."
Yeah. Remember Chuck's a Saints fan to Chiefy's a Saints fan. And Chiefy's like, yeah, who dat? All right, I remember I'm objective. I picked just based off of who should win. All right.
We got Washington, who I hate because I'm not betting a game that they're involved in. Going into Houston. Houston's 3-point dogs with a 40.5 over under.
See, I'm getting on that train. I'm getting on the Commanders train. All right. Ron Rivera.
Taylor Heineke, I hope you have turf toe.
Yeah, Ron Rivera is a Marine, okay, and they hired J.C. Glick as their leadership coach. Like, this is why they turned them around, okay? J.C. Glick's been a guy on our show, and they got Chase Young coming back.
Keep in mind, they've killed 4 of my bets. That's why I say.
Yeah, they've killed 4 of my bets.
God, They're like the cardiac Skins, and I'm calling them the Skins.
So, well, they killed they pushed one of my bets because the ref tackled the safety. All right, that's all. That only reason why that happened. But I like the Commanders here with Chase Young coming back to lock this up.
Yeah. We got Las Vegas going into Denver. Excuse me. That game makes me throw up in my mouth. Denver -2.5 with a 41.5 over under.
Yeah, here comes my 4-lock parlay completer. I'm going Broncos here. All right. The Raiders are just gross. I mean, you got David Carr crying on camera, talking about how he wishes the team would practice as hard as he does, and some of the other guys, went
to the Aaron Rodgers school of shitting on your teammates. Says he.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean,
better win some Super Bowls.
But again, I think David Carr is more authentic than Aaron Rodgers. So David Carr's like, literally, guys, you can't show up half-assed all week and expect to win, right? Like, we got guys that bust their ass just to play, like just to rehab injuries. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Broncos here, destroying a team that's in dismay.
All right, we got one that I like here. The Bengals going into Pittsburgh, starting off the 425 games. Pittsburgh is only 3.5-point dogs with a 40.5 over under here. I like the Bengals.
Yeah, but this is the Jamar Chase. That's the factor. He's not playing again, I don't think. I don't think he's playing for the rest of the year, probably. Maybe he comes back for the playoffs. But yeah, I got the Bengals here still to beat the Steelers, but it's going to be an ugly game. It's one of those tie games. So I bet I'm calling it. Hey, put $2 on a tie here. I'm telling you.
I'm buying a point and taking the Bengals -2.5. I'll just buy a point because that 3 and a hook, I hate that.
Yeah,
on the road. But we got Dallas. Here's a good game. We got Dallas going into Minnesota. Minnesota is 1.5-point dogs at home. Is that right?
Yeah, there's
over under.
Jump on this right now.
Disrespect.
Right, jump on this. So much disrespect.
Man.
It's crazy.
Minnesota.
I mean, they beat everybody, right? Like, and they didn't. They beat teams bad. Like
they are walking away with the NFC North. Like no contender is going to catch them.
They're walking away with the
right,
NFC.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna. I mean, people don't realize how. And here's my subjectivity/objectivity. Zadarius Smith should have never left Green Bay, right? Like we should have told Aaron Rodgers, we're gonna get rid of you and we're keeping Zadarius. All right, he is a freaking monster. Okay, and so when you keep getting the ball at the 50-yard line because your defense is that good, and then you got like Jefferson, like and then Cook. All right, Dallas can't stop anybody in the run game. The Packers prove that.
I don't think anybody can stop Justin Jefferson. He's like a 6'5" Stephon Diggs.
And then Dalvin Cook is a tremendous DraftKings player. If you played DraftKings this week, he's going to have a big game. All right.
All right, we got the night game. We got the Chiefs going in to play the Chargers. Chiefs are 5-point favorites with a 52 over under.
Yeah, it's a low spread because the Chiefs don't play well against the Chargers. They just don't. One of those things where it's a matchup problem. But you never know. You got to go with Mahomes here. You got to go with how hot they're running. So I got the Chiefs here to cover. I'm not gonna lock it, but they'll cover.
All right, Monday night, we got San Francisco going into Arizona. Arizona has killed a few bets for me as well, but Arizona is 8-point home dogs with a 43.5 over under.
Yeah, Arizona won that game last week against the Rams because there was a backup quarterback versus backup quarterback, and whatever. This is a great game for parlays. All right, so put in your 3 or 4 teamer, and then put San Francisco money line. All right, in your parlay, because then you get to bet. If you win the first 4 games, you get to bet Arizona at +8 for half your parlay bet, and then you can win both of them. All right, so just by chance. But this is a great game to end your parlay on. Great one. So I love this betting week, and I'm going 49ers money line. I think they will cover, but just put a money line in your parlay so that you can hedge it.
I might buy them down to -6.5.
Well, if you're going to do that, yeah, but I'm saying you take a money line in your parlay so that when you win your first 5 games on Sunday, you can now put $20 on the Cardinals to cover and still win both bets, which is awesome. But all right, there you have it, sports fans. The picks are in. Okay, remember, we got a huge lineup today. All right, at 1700 Eastern time, we got the Trash Talk Hour, and we got a guy who went to West Point who farms goats. All right, I don't know how we're going to make that exciting, but
my father-in-law farms goats.
Yeah, did he get $100,000 education from the taxpayers?
No.
All right? No. So here we go. We spent $100,000 on your brain, and now you're farming goats. So there's the punchline right there. If he's watching,
Are they
early.
pygmy goats? Because these
Yeah,
are
who knows?
pygmy goats that he farms legit.
Yeah, and then we got Throat Punch Monday. All right, they're coming back. All right, they got their season 3 lined up, but they're doing a Saturday special to cover the I Am Vanessa Guillen, all right, thing, and they're doing that today at 1900 Eastern time. So go on YouTube for that because they'll be on the chat thread, and you can chat with them on YouTube because it's a pre-recorded show. Now let's put this out here to the VTT official community. All right, if you see VTT in front of someone's name, all right, they're either a podcast host or one of the admin. All right. And so if you get into an argument with them, all right, you're probably not going to be into the group very much longer. All right. And that being said, if you get on a chat thread that's about a woman who was a service member who got chopped into pieces, right? If you go on one of those threads and start talking about why women suck, right? Like, you are, as Bill would say, retarded. Okay, like, so don't message us at Veteran Trash Talk saying, what happened? Okay, like, you're a douchebag. Okay,
Nick, can I simplify what you said?
Yes.
Dead serious?
Yeah.
We argue for everybody. So when you argue with us, there's the fucking door.
Yep.
That's it.
We literally try to include everyone. There's things that the big girl doesn't necessarily like and put up with, like, you know, being scared of fireworks as a veteran. Like, I don't get it, right? But I still respect you. Okay, I still like if I'm gonna make fun of you, but I'm like, it is what it is, you know. But like, yeah, just
yeah. Hey, we've all caught shrapnel. You want to know what none of us saw? A bunch of bright colors, and streamers, and sparklers. We don't confuse the two. Combat soldiers don't confuse the two.
I didn't have a hot dog and freaking Miller Lite in my hand when I got blown up. Okay, so when these fireworks are going off, it's gorgeous.
I wouldn't have minded it so much if we had a cold Budweiser and a brat when we got blown up. I wouldn't have minded it so much.
Yeah, I probably should have finished the brat.
Add shrapnel. You got a bratwurst? All right,
but I got it. I do understand the randos. All right, like when the random firework goes off, it gets me right. You know, it hits me right here, and then I go, oh look, I'm in El Paso. I mean, I could be even worse. It could be the cartels, but it's not. Okay, so it's just a firework. All right, fucking chill, relax. All right. Off the soapbox, because I don't get a soapbox today because we have a special guest. The Angry Colonel is going to come on, all right, and he's going to tell us what he's pissed off about, which should be good. But all right, we'll see you guys in a couple hours.